Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be continuing the discussion on Bach Flower Essences with the practical use of the Bach Flower Essences. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Before I get into the practical use of the Bach Flower Essences, I wanted to talk about one very special combination of Bach Flower Essence, and this is called the Rescue Remedy. Rescue Remedy is the essence that is used for an emergency. It is the most well-known and most often used combination of essences. It was first mixed and used by Dr. Bach himself, and since then it has been used in countless critical situations, and it has often worked wonders. Rescue Remedy consists of the following essences: cherry plum, clematis, impatiens, rock rose, and Star of Bethlehem. This mixture of Bach flower essences belongs in every household, travel kit, and first aid kit. It should always be taken in any kind of an emergency. As an example, it works wonders in all types of accidents, collapses, anger or panic attacks, threats of suicide, heart attacks, strokes, burns, and injuries of all kinds. It helps to calm, stabilize, and heal. The normal dose is 3 drops on the tongue at short intervals, approximately every 10 minutes. Repeat until there is improvement, and then you would take it after longer intervals. If oral ingestion is not possible, just put some drops on the lips or rub it on the forehead. Now let's move on to the practical use of the Bach flower essences. When using the essences, the dosages should be adjusted to the individual. With acute conditions or serious problems, place 1 to 3 drops of essence in a glass of distilled water and drink from the glass during the course of a day. Sometimes it's more effective to put a drop directly on the tongue. In the case of long-term treatment, or if a person has a sensitivity to the essence can be diluted. To dilute the Bach flower essence, put 5 drops, sometimes only 2 will suffice, in 1/3 of an ounce of distilled water, and add approximately 10% alcohol for sterilization. You can use a high-proof vodka or Everclear or moonshine for this purpose. It's best to use a small, dark-colored bottle with a dropper. Take 5 drops of this diluted solution daily. You can make many combinations which are made in the same way. Just put the chosen essences in the distilled water or a solution that is custom made for your needs. In order to achieve the desired success with the Bach flower essences, you must proceed carefully. It's important to familiarize yourself with all the essences, or at least read all the descriptions carefully and attentively. When you do this, do not be content to choose the first essence that seems right to you. Try continually to select the correct essence of the 38 for your special needs. Sometimes it's advisable to combine several essences, 3 to 6 essences at a time, for many specific problems or complaints. When chosen correctly, Bach flower essences can have remarkable results. But you should be aware that each of the 38 essences acts in some way on every individual. Sometimes when you first start using Bach flower essences, it might seem that you need pretty much all of the essences, and the urge is to just go for it and use everything you think you need. This is the wrong way to go with the essences. It's important to only use 3 to 6 essences at any given time. The urge to do too much at one time is strong. Resist this urge. It's important to remember that Bach flower essences work primarily on the psyche. the disturbances of which can take many forms. Sometimes this can include physical illness. For this reason, it's important to consider the causes and contributing factors when choosing an essence. In order to find the correct Bach flower essence, you need to ask yourself several questions. The first question is, how and why has this particular condition come to be? The next question is, what is the reason for this pathological behavior? The next question is, what does this illness mean, and what is my psyche trying to tell me? At best, you should proceed as follows when choosing the proper essence. First, you need to be sure which psychic condition is the dominant one. The first question you ask here is, how do I feel? Do I feel sad, exhausted, irritated, discouraged, restless, driven, bitter, and so on? Even with physical illness, it's important to take note of the mental and emotional state that you are in, since this is a deciding factor in choosing the appropriate essence. In this way, you'll find the essence to treat the superficial causes of your condition. The next step is for you to find out the underlying causes for your condition. You do this by asking yourself the following questions. The first question to ask yourself is, why do I feel so bad? Then ask yourself, which factors have played a role in creating my problem? Some sample answers to help you understand this part could be, because I become too angry, because I rush, because I have experienced something terrible, because I can never give up, because I am under too much strain, because I have no self-confidence, because I'm afraid, and so on. In this way, you will find an essence that will address the underlying cause or bad habits, and then it will have deeply working effects on you. You also need to take your personality into account. The question to ask yourself here are, what kind of person am I? Which characteristics or qualities make me what I am? Some answers to that question might be that you are dominant, afraid, unfocused, dreamy, self-confident, acquisitive, shy, dishonest, afraid of conflict, pessimistic, uncertain, easily influenced, disciplined, and so on. In this way, you'll find an essence that is appropriate for your personality type, and in the long term, bring about positive change for your entire being. For best results, take 1 or 2 essences from each of these 3 categories: superficial symptoms and causes, underlying factors, and personality type, and try to concentrate on the problem that is causing you to suffer. In terms of the essences from a 3rd category, your personality, the connection with the dominant condition or illness, is not always easily recognizable. It's important to take the essence anyway, when the characteristic factors are very pronounced. It is important to take the essences in this personality category work directly and will be effective not just in improving the situation temporarily, but in leading you on the path to permanent improvement as well. If you find that you simply don't know how or where to begin, first look at the ailments videos that will be following this video for your symptom. Listen to the appropriate descriptions of the Bach flower essences in the videos I have already done, and then check for the recommended individual essences and possible combinations. If the selected base seems too large and you have difficulty selecting an appropriate essence, always begin with wild oat and agrimony. Soon you will notice some improvement and you will be able to see your problem more clearly. If you feel like you have absolutely no starting point for choosing an essence, take agrimony, which is an important Bach flower essence which is nearly always used to begin any kind of essence therapy. If treatment is successful and you notice improvement, turn your attention to the problems that come next to the foreground of your consciousness. With time, you will be able to rejuvenate your entire personality. It is entirely possible that certain essences will be used more than once in your program. For problems that have only recently appeared and that are not that deep-seated yet, the effects will be faster than for chronic or constitutional problems. Sometimes these long-term symptoms must be treated for months while the inner psychic structure is being healed. One of the unique features of the Bach Flower Essence therapy is that its effects are decidedly organic and gentle. Very often, one does not connect the Bach Flower Essence with the improvement, which almost seems as if it just happens on its own. If after a few weeks you notice no clear improvement, normally you will notice a difference in hours or a few days. You have either not chosen the proper dosages, so try a higher dose or a more potent dilution, or your choice has been too superficial. Naturally, it could be that Bach Flower Essence therapy is not the correct choice for your condition, or it should be combined with another form of therapy, such as homeopathic or naturopathic treatments, which lend themselves especially well to such combinations. One last thing, do not throw the towel in too early. If something goes wrong, it's usually because of a problem in diagnosis. Listen again to the videos on individual ailments under the terms given there for these conditions that have the most in common with yours. List all the possible symptoms and conditions that should be treated and the appropriate essences used to treat those conditions. Any essence that appears more than once on your list will probably be helpful. Another way of using the Bach flower essences is to let the flower essences come into contact with the skin. Rescue remedy salve is one example of this practice. If a patient cannot take the essence orally, place a few drops on the lips or massage it into the forehead of the affected area. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I decided to create several different playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.